I think we got a problem, got a problem.
Let's go. Get up. It's that club, baby. You hear that? We can't sit down to that. Okay.
Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy, Sheik Luch, LOXD Block, Silverback. Hey, yo, right now I need to shout out the ISUPK classes.
I want to give a huge, big, humongous shout out to all the UPK schools.
We can't sit down to that.
Shout out to Black Watch, hosted by General Johanna. Word, I need y'all to check out Cross the Line Radio as well, man. They've been open all week from 7 to 9. They ain't shut down because of the corona, the COVID and all that. They rockin' strong, you know what I mean?
Think we got a problem, but really it ain't though. It's one of me and these bitches, I count about 3, 4. Think we got a problem, but homie just all talk. He ain't gon' pop a balloon with a pitchfork. Think we got a problem in the club with this dog. Rude boys, dogs, ladies, everybody. Yo, shit, what they want.
Sound? Oh, snap. Okay. So we good to go now? I think we should be good. We can't hear. Okay. I think y'all can hear now. Salaki for that, y'all. I think y'all can hear me 1 second. I'm going to give it a second to catch up. All right, here we go. Today's class is going to be on the emphasis of mastery, right? Now, that's what we have to understand. I'm gonna rewind it back, you know what I'm saying? But this is what we got to understand if we want to obtain the mastery that we want as a nation, right? We can't always take the slave position. We have to get into the position that we are fighting for and we're trying to get, right? But we can't really like wrap our heads around it too much because of the fact that we've been in this position for so long that we can't see the world without the oppressor being over top of us, right? So a lot of these concepts that we come with when we go out on the streets and we speak to people, they can't really wrap their head around these concepts because we're talking about a world where we're not oppressed. Right. We're talking about a world where we're not on the bottom. And we're talking about a world without the oppressor with his foot on our neck. And for a lot of our people, that seems far-fetched. That seems like something that it's like, you remember, on the plantation, the slave that came up and said, yo, we about to run, right? Not even knowing what they was going to be up against, not even knowing the way to the north. You know what I mean? Not even having, a clear understanding of what they would like have to go through or anything, but just the thought of them saying, yo, we need to be free. We need to get out of here. We need to go and get away from here. And then the other slaves that were there telling them, nah, what's better than what we got here? But at that time, just the mindset of a person at that time had to be crazy, just like how we're crazy when we go out in the streets, right? Because we're saying, okay, we want to live, we're going to have a life, and we're going to have a planet where we're not going to have to be oppressed, and we're going to be on the top, And for our people, a lot of times they look at that like, man, I don't know what the hell you talking about, right? So they can't really conceptualize it, all right? So let me get, which one I want, the Jeremiah 2:14, I believe that is.
I don't concept.
Mm-hmm.
This is Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14.
Uh-huh.
Is Israel a servant?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a homeborn slave?
Right. So this is bedrock, right? These scriptures right here that we bringing out is bedrock, right? We understand this, right? Are we homeborn? You know what I mean? Are we homeborn? Now, yeah. You know what I mean? Like being here in America, like I don't think a lot of people really understand how long we've been under the oppressor. We've been under them for a very, 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 very long time, right? And we know everything about them, right? To the point where we like I was bringing out earlier in the week, you know what I'm saying? Like we've been under them so long that we know everything about them, right? And they definitely know everything about us. Matter of fact, I don't want to bring out too much, whatever, because I want to save a lot for the lecture or whatever, but I got some heavy stuff. Shameless plug. Make sure y'all check out the lecture on February 26th. It's going to start at 4:00, and we're going to rock out until 9:00. Right? The lecture will probably be about 2.5 hours. We open up some time for some questions or whatever, and then we'll go into some music and you know how that go. All right. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Read it one more time.
This is Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 14.
Oh, let me. All right, there you go.
Is Israel a servant?
Mm-hmm.
Is he a homeborn slave?
Uh-huh.
Why is he spoiled?
Why are we spoiled? We're spoiled because the leadership that's over top of us thought it would be better to give up all of our resources, give up all of our, anything that we would have to stand on to get love from all these other nations. It's like a psychological game that's getting played on our people as we walk around, and we, you know what I mean? And our kids see that too. Like it's work being put on us. Like when you think about when we was kids, right? When we was kids, we got the last little bit of like a black business, right? Right. You might see Miss Francis. She got the sandwiches. You might go to, we had Walt's Chicken. Y'all remember Walt's Chicken?
I remember Walt's Chicken.
Yeah, remember when Walt used to be in there? Walt was, you know what I mean? Walt had the white. He had this is the only time I've seen this. He was a chicken wing dude, but he had all white on. And he goes, nothing but barbecue sauce everywhere. But the point was like, that was like the last things I was able to see growing up. So just imagine the kids now, they've never seen a black business. They've only seen the Arabs controlling everything. The East Indians, they've never seen, black people in a position with brick and mortar.
Right.
Right. They've only went to the Koreans, the Japanese, we've only got, Chinese food, chicken wings and shrimp fried rice is not chicken, Chinese food. But the thing is like we have to learn to put an emphasis on mastery. That I need that, that one scripture to strive for mastery, right? And that's what our leadership has to do, because we're waiting on them to come with a answer, right? We're waiting on the oppressor. Like, think about what voting is. Voting is we're waiting on. This phone is going off. It's lucky. No, it's cool. It's swap. Every time I come with a complete thought, the phone ring. All right. So when you think about voting, right? What are we fighting for? What are we voting for? We're voting to have an answer, to get an answer to the issues that Black people go through, right? And that's what we're voting for. We're voting for that father to get in there and handle all our problems. Right. But think about the work that it does on the children who see that too, because the children won't look at the leadership and look at us or, the grownups as a people that can handle our own issues. So what are they going to look to? If we look to the oppressor to solve our issues, they're going to look to our oppressors too. And our oppressor is going to, and remember, in order to, when we, like the environment that our kids are in, right? They are just coping with it the best way they know how. So what do they understand? They understand that they have nothing to look forward to, right? We have no material wealth that they're going to inherit growing up. They're not going to have no jobs in their neighborhood that they're going to be able to get, right? The greatest validation in life is the validation from the oppressor, right? This is what they understand in their mind. Right. And so since we have nothing to give them, we have no money to give them, we have nothing to pass down to them, and the leadership feels that they're going to be able to walk up and down these streets with dignity and you're not going to get robbed. You know what I'm saying? Like, these kids are going to, pull that gun out and they're going to, get that money out your pocket, because what else do they have? You know what I'm saying? So if we actually want to get free, if we actually want to do anything that is going to benefit our nation, it is imperative, we have to obtain mastery of our own destiny. We can't look at the oppressor, because like I was bringing out earlier this week. Matter of fact, let me get the scripture. I don't know, sometimes like I get too deep into it, but go ahead, Mataji, if you could, if you don't mind.
Sir, which one do you want?
The strive for mastery.
The strive for mastery one?
Mm-hmm.
That's 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 25.
Right on.
And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things.
That's right, man. It's to actually lead. That's what it's natural for a man to want to have something of his own. It's natural for a man to want to have his own nation. It's natural for a man to want to actually have something in this place. And what do we have? I seen a video where the cat said, all we produce is sweat. Right? When we got what the rappers doing when they out there doing these concerts? Sweating.
Calm.
What are the singers doing? What Beyonce doing after she get finished singing? Sweating. Right. What is LeBron James doing after he gets finished playing basketball? But the thing is, right? Nobody's buying sweat. Nobody buys sweat. What are we actually producing that other people on a global market want to consume? Nothing. Nobody want to buy sweat. And that's all we've been able to produce in this place. It's sweat. Because the leadership of our people are just dumb. And because we see them with a big, a nice big degree, you got, you got an MBA, all of these different doctorate degrees and masters and all that kind of stuff. We look at them as, they're smart and they should be the people that should lead. When the reality of it is that, they go to school to learn how to be stupid. Candace Owens is an articulate dummy.
Right.
She's an articulate dummy. The same way, Mark Burns is an articulate dummy. What's the one that was over the housing authority? He was under Trump.
The doctor, Ben something.
Ben Carson. He's an articulate dummy. All of them. You look. Name one. Just run down the line. Just think about it. Think about it. Think about Colin Powell. He was a how many star general? 5-star. 5-star general. Went to school for military science. And can't get black people civil rights. He can lead the oppressor to victory in Iran, Iraq, all these other places, Desert Storm, all of these different wars. He can lead the oppressor to victory, but he can't even lead his own people to victory. It's because when we go to school, we're learning two different things. You know what I'm saying? Like when you think just because you go to school for the same thing that the oppressor goes to school for, that somehow y'all are really learning the same thing, when y'all really not. Y'all are learning two separate things, even though y'all in the same class, right? Because once the oppressor gets out of school, he's going to really get the real, understanding of how things go, right? And just think about it, right? Like, and remember we was talking about it earlier this week. And Salaki, read the scripture one more time so that people can stay fresh on it.
Book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 9, verse 25. And every man that striveth for the mastery is temperate in all things.
Right. You gotta remember when you lead people, you have to be able to make the best decision under pressure. Right? We know what that is, right? What's that? Psychology term? Nobody? To make the ability to make the best decisions under pressure? The presence of mind?
Yeah.
They like, nah, no. Yeah, the presence of mind, right? That's the ability to make the right decisions under pressure. When you're a leader, when you're in that position, you can't have bad days, right? I was telling brothers earlier this week, I can't have a bad day. What? Like, I'm not going to answer my phone today. That's not going to happen. Because when you're in a position where you want to lead, like brothers, like y'all brothers are sitting here, y'all are in positions that y'all lead. And remember that you can't have a bad day. It's over with. Right? But getting back to the point about mastery, man, like this is what we have to definitely put an emphasis on, is how can we control how can we control pieces on the board, right? And how can we take that strategy and make the best choices for the collective as a group, And because we don't put those things in place, and we set our self-interest to the side, we ultimately have, an open market. So with anybody that wants to come in and take whatever they want to take from us, we'll let them have it. So how can the women respect us? How can black women really respect us? I mean, just keeping it 100. Now, I'm not talking about us in the truth. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? The black woman ain't gonna respect the black man because, she don't really see you as a man. If we can let them come in if we can let all these other nations come in our neighborhood and take all our money out of here and don't do nothing about it, we can't protect them, right? So the women are going to go to where the power is, and where's the power? With the oppressor. You know what I'm saying? But the thing is like, and this is why like the women that come into the truth, the understanding is like so like what's that word I'm looking for? Like so special because to be able to say, you know what, I'm going to make this man feel like a king, even though he's in captivity. Even though both of us is in captivity, like that's a certain type of sister that is less of, you know what I mean, around the earth, Right. And so that's why it's like, for sisters that can sit in here and listen to us talk about the oppressor like this and not get up and walk the hell out of here, that's pretty different. That's like something that you don't see all the time. Right. And so, like I said, this is why we have to put the emphasis on mastery. This is why we have to make the best decisions that we can make. And we got to understand that consumption is not equality because we can spend our money, right? Because you can go to You know, I seen we was in San Juan. I seen the I know Thusher Young been in here, but I seen the Gucci store. I seen the Fendi store. It was like, you know, like it's like nobody in them, you know what I'm saying? I was like, oh man, there go the Gucci store. So I started walking to the Gucci store, and I got like, as I got closer and the words got bigger, you know, like, because it was like farther away. And then I'm like walking, I get like there, and I just said to myself, I ain't going in there. For what? Nothing I can get out of there. You know what I mean? There's nothing I can get out of there. It's two dudes in suits. They got nice. They got Gucci suits on. You know what I mean? What am I gonna do? Go in there and look at a $4,000 hat? No, right? So we got to understand that, you know, our ability to consume, to buy products is not equality, right? That's not how you get it. It's, you know, to actually be equal, we would have to actually, you know, control something. That's the real equality, when we can control the board. Right. And like the scripture said, are we a homeborn slave? You know, give me that. Which one? You know which one I want? The Jeremiah 2:33. That one jumped out, right? And if we get into that mindset of producing something, that mindset of production, then that'll be the actual equality that we're looking for, right? That'll be it, right? I'm gonna go ahead and get that scripture if y'all could. All right, you got it, warrior.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 33. Mm-hmm. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love?
That's what we do every day. Oh man, that's all we do. We trim our ways. And in some ways we have to, some ways we do it overtly, but a lot of ways we do it covert, right? So a lot of times, you know, we trim our ways, you know, we don't wear that afro to work, you know. You know what I mean? You don't wear that afro to work, you know, you gotta tuck it down, you know. It's like one of those things a lot of us don't, a lot of people keep to the back of their head. You don't wear that afro to work. Why? Because it's not professional, right? Like when I see like black people that have white friends, I know what they're going through. You know exactly, I know what they're going through because I went through it too. I know y'all heard this story plenty of times, right? But I used to have a white friend, right? Mm-hmm. And my relationship with him was me trying to prove to him and his family that I wasn't like everybody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, think of the thinking that I had to take. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my mind, it's something I can talk about it now because, you know what I mean? Like, you know, being in here, you know, we're able to confront the things that, you know, the ways that we used to think, right? When I didn't have the truth. But when I didn't have the truth, that was always in the back of my mind. Like, well, I'm around his peoples or, you know, his mom and all them, and I'm, you know, super cool, you know, and just, you know, in a way trying to prove to them that I'm not like other niggas that they might, you know, see on TV or whatever, you know? And so once I realized that, you know, I had to terminate that relationship. You know, I had to terminate that friendship that I had because what the hell? I got rid of all the oppressor off my damn Facebook page. Everybody had to go. It was cleaning the house. Everybody got to go. Everybody who's ever made a stupid comment, anybody who's ever said it's like it. But y'all get my point. You know, why we trim our ways to seek love from everybody. Everybody who has any bit of love that we could obtain, we shed our love for it. And we shouldn't be doing that. The pastor shouldn't be doing that. The pastor got these cats, you know, and these fake Israelite groups. And if you new to the school and you hear that term fake Israelite group, just stick around and you'll really get the real full understanding of that. These cats have perverted the truth. Right. Like I can halfway understand you perverting something that's not the truth, like Christianity. You know, you just perverting the hell out of that. But you come into the understanding of the truth and you perverting it because you want to have doctors sitting in there that can pay you that money in tithes. You know what I mean? You got the oppressor sitting up front. You letting the oppressor marry the sisters at the Passover. You tripping, right? Because you want money. That's what it all boils down to, because you want to be able to get that bread. So you'll let little things go because you don't want to offend anybody. But the real thing is the truth about Christ, the truth about the scriptures, the truth about everything is going to offend people. And we got to stop being cowards, right? We got to stop that cowardice ideology to where like we don't want to piss nobody off, right? We got to start pissing people off. That's the only way that we're actually really going to be able to get to the point we want to get, which is mastery. Right? Like the very word master sounds bad, don't it?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
Does it sound bad? Like master? It doesn't, you know, a lot, you know, our people, you know, you tell them master, they're going to associate it with slavery. Right. Power. Power, is that a bad word? Right? But we associate power with being something that's bad.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because in our mindset, we like, okay, power is bad. Separation is bad. Those are words that are bad, like separation, power, oppressor. You know what I'm saying? Those words in Christianity is bad. You know what? What's hate? You know, hate. That's a bad word. But in here, it's a good word.
Right.
You know, because it makes us, it helps us to stay safe. It helps us to be able to understand fully well who has been the bane of our existence, right? But at the same time, understanding how to perfectly hate, like we do here in the truth, right? A perfect hatred, then it doesn't matter how good they treat you. They're still the devil the Bible speaks of.
Right.
Like when I come to work, I don't have no issues. Hey, how you doing? Good morning. How was your weekend? It's cool, but you're still the devil. Hey, you need me to, my car was broke down. You need me to give you a ride? I could swing past and get you. Yup. Come get me. I ain't paying no $40 no damn Uber. And I'm sitting there with the oppressor in his goddamn car, going to work, talking about cats. I talk about cats all the way to work. Right, right, but you're still the devil. You know what I mean? You helping me out, but you're still the devil. The Bible speaks of.
Right.
That's what we gotta understand. Like we can't like get a period of what's that word? Benevolence. You know what I mean? You can't get that little period of benevolence where they do something for you, and then all of a sudden, your mind changes. And you think that, there is some good people out there that's, they just happen to be, vanilla. But when you in the truth and you understand how to perfectly align your feelings and align that perfect hatred, then no matter what they do for you, then you still understand that they're the devil. Just the same way they understand that about you. Like even though you might do something nice, right? That person might, the oppressor might ask you to do something, and you do it. No, ain't nothing about it. You know what I mean? You do it, right? And you help them do something or whatever it is. You still a nigga in their mind, right? So this is what we have to definitely understand, especially, for the leadership that would want to be in a position where they would want to lead people, right? You can't, just think about, let me get, woe be unto the pastors. You could drop that, woe be unto the pastors. But I think Jeremiah 23:2, all right? But our leadership didn't, take into account, what if integration fell apart? You know what I'm saying? What if it actually didn't work? Okay, and like I said, I brought this up earlier this week. All right, I want to revisit it, Zariah Bakar, right? Check it out. If let's just say Martin Luther King's dream actually did happen, right? And it did go through, and we were holding hands and we were singing old Negro spirituals with the oppressor, and little black boys and little white boys were holding hands, right? What did our leadership put in place that will protect us if that fell apart? If that relationship that we had with the oppressor fell apart? Somebody tell me what was put in place. Go ahead. Absolutely right. Hold on, I will give you a bomb. Bomb for you. Nothing was put in place. Because remember, it's a marriage we're talking about. What happens with marriages every day? They break up, right? There's nothing in the law of physics that says that something has to last forever. So in integration, it's going to last until the end of time? Or is it going to have the potential to fall apart over time? And it can, right? I was watching this lecture, and the cat brought out about how integration can only work with economic prosperity, because if the economic system breaks down, then what is the oppressor going to do? He's going to go after the people that are what? On the bottom, right? If he has the option to feed his people or your people or your kids, who is he going to feed? His own. So if the oppressor feels that, remember when the price of cotton went down, lynchings went up, right? It went up because remember, when the economy goes down, the devil comes out, right? Because it's a lack of resources, right? A lack of money being changed around. So if the economy collapses, the first people they're gonna kill is the people that have no value to them, right? The people that that will be their competition. This is why the notion of equality is so goddamn foolish, because equality is something that the oppressor can't function in. He can't function in a system that's equal. Right. And this is what, Salaki, this thought's coming. But could you please read it one more time, please? Yeah, Chairman Dollar. Wait a minute. Which one you had, Zarabakar?
Jeremiah 23:1.
All right, you got it, warrior.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Woe be unto the pastors.
Hold on 1 second. Let me unmute you. All right, you got it.
Woe be unto the pastors.
Could you read the scripture? I mean, where you at, please?
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture.
Right, because the leadership, they scatter us out. We're like all over the place. Like when you think about it, like if you think about it in just the regular religious, terms, you got, Protestants, give me some Mormons, Pentecostal, Baptist, Methodist, Catholic, all those different, religions, and they got us all over the place, and we're like sheep that's scattered. You know what I mean? Like sheep are supposed to be together. Y'all went to the lamb slaughter? What the sheep do when you go in there? No, they go together. They be like, they back up as far as they can go. They be like in the wall, like against the wall, like looking at you. But when you come in there, they start, going everywhere or whatever. I like sheep. I think if I had the land, I would like have some, not to eat, but just, let them chill. Cause they like dogs, kinda. You know what I mean? They don't really like, they don't fight you or nothing like that. They don't bite you or nothing. They just be chilling. Right. But I remember, and I'll bring this up again. Salaki, y'all, for bringing this up again. But those sheep don't have any defense. The only defense that they have would be a good shepherd that would watch over them. That would be like, oh, whoa, get back. You know what I mean? With that big old stick, get back. What? Where you? Whoa, bop, get back. The one go too far, pull them back. Pull them back in with everybody else. That's how we need this. That's what we need to have. But we don't have that. We got a shepherd that's like this, looking the other way. And then all the different wolves is out there just eating them up. You got a lamb on the roof of somebody's crib. You got one in a tree. You know what I mean? You got one way up there. You know what I mean? Like all over the place. Imagine a shepherd, and his herd has to be contained together so he can protect them if something comes up to try to harm them. And we don't have that protection in place. Think about that, right? After civil rights, we didn't put anything in place that would protect us from being enslaved again. Right now, if it wasn't for God that sits in heaven, if the oppressor wanted us to go into slavery right now, it wouldn't be nothing we could do to stop it. If they wanted to put us in. Now, Kwayashwan was like, what, slavery? Like, no, I'm not talking about like, he's like, ain't we in slavery? No, I'm not talking about that slavery. I'm talking about we shall, you know what I mean? Like, I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? Like on a plantation slavery. Right now with chains on it, you know, the chains are way better now. There's handcuffs, it's different now. It's not the old school style, you know what I mean? Everything's better now, like the technology and everything. What did we put in place? What did our leadership put in place that would protect us from not getting enslaved again? If the oppressor decided to. Nothing, you know? We trim our ways to seek love. We look at the oppressor as he's close to God, right? You know, because look at his dominance. Look at all of the wonderful things that he has in life that we try to get. Look at who we see as the final validator of truth. You know, what they tell you? What we even say at camp? What do we have to do at camp to prove what we saying is right? We gotta get a white man to back it up, right? For our people, like what? Give me this book or give me that book. Let me show you that this is what the oppressor says. Give me black image in a white mind. Let's see what George Fredrickson said about the Israelites, right? And what our people do? Oh, well, I guess they do say that, right? But because they don't want to take it from your mouth, you know, but they will take it from the oppressor's mouth. Why? Because we see them as the greatest validator of any kind of truth that's out here. And this is what we have to change if we want to obtain mastery. If we want to obtain those things that is going to keep us free. We can't do it with the way we're doing it now. The conservatives, the black conservatives. What the hell is that? Somebody please tell me. What is that? Conservative. Somebody tell me what conservative is. Liberal. Liberal, conservative. Dr. Yep, you a liberal? You a conservative? I know. Zerah Carr is a conservative. Man. You know, conservative, liberals, conservatives, black conservatives. Right? What's Candace Owens? She's a black conservative, right? Who else? Mark Burns, Daryl Scott, they're black conservatives, right? What are they conserving? Hold on, go ahead. What we got? It seems like the conservative jobs are to serve the values of white supremacy. All right, you get a bomb. You get a bomb. Let me give you two. Especially black conservatives, right? You're right, Kana. That's what they're conserving. They're telling you, like, I'm about conserving white power, right? And I'm not about. I mean, what else can you conserve? Like, if you think about it, right? Conservation means to conserve something that you have. So if we don't have none of the pot, then what are we conserving? I can understand why they would be a conservative because they want to conserve their values. They want to conserve their, history. They want to conserve, the things that they stand on, right? Like, marriage and, abortion, things like that. They want to conserve the old, the good old party values, right? That they have growing up, that, the things that they, were instilled with, growing up on the farm. I could see that. I can understand that, but I can't understand a black conservative. Because what are you conserving? Power, wealth? What are you in this game of conserving something? And then liberals, that's just crazy. That's just crazy because, a liberal, all they are just covert with racism, right? They're going to give it to you nicely. Like, they're not going to, like Joe Biden is going to still give you white supremacy, but he's going to do it in a nice way, because that's what we like. We like anybody that could, just be nice. We don't care what you really believe. Just be nice about it. I talked to this brother. The brother said he voted for this one candidate because of their response to COVID. I was like, damn, response to COVID. So he stopped COVID. He stopped COVID, right? He stopped COVID because of his mandates. Are you crazy? I told the brother, I said, man, look, man, just imagine that. Like, man, I'm so glad, Joe Biden is in office because, I haven't caught COVID yet because he's been in office. No, you haven't caught COVID because you just wasn't in the right place where you could catch COVID. Right. You probably had COVID on your hand, but you probably put some hand sanitizer on. You probably was around somebody who had COVID, but you just happened to have a mask on. Whatever it was, the things that play that you didn't catch it, right? But I remember when I remember Thushy M was like, man, this brother had COVID, you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. I don't feel nothing. An hour later, my throat got scratchy. and it put me on my ass for a minute. So, it had nothing to do with Joe Biden. It had nothing to do with anything, right? It was the Lord, really, at the end of the day, right? And this is what we gotta, understand in our mind if we want to change ourselves, right? If we want to be able to obtain the mastery that we've been talking about, the mastery that General Muhammad talks about, that kind of mastery. That's the mastery I want. I want total mastery for us and our people, right? That's what we fight for. We go out on the street, it's cold as hell outside, and this is what we fight for. This is the life that we chose to fight, right? Because, like, think about it. It's what could you, outside of the truth, what can you really do that you can't do now? All you can really do outside the truth is just be evil as hell and really just do drugs? What can you do outside the truth that you can't do here? Drugs. That's it. Drugs, tattoos. Right? You can get a tattoo. What else? You can get a shape up. Okay, a shape up, drugs, tattoos, be a whore, and what else? And what else? 4 things. What else? Ain't nothing else? That's it. That's all you could do. It's not really, all it's cracked up to be. It's really not. And really, right now, you shouldn't want to be on drugs. Because they got fentanyl in the drugs right now. Fentanyl. It's like scary right now. You might want to just get high. Let me pop this bean. E-pill. Let me pop this E-pill real quick and let me go on this party and get crunk. And that pill is laced with fentanyl. And you drop dead. And then you drop dead and then everybody just puts prayer hands, which is not really a prayer hands. It's really like the high five. It's really the high five emoji. But they use it as prayer hands. Right. It's really not a prayer hands. It's really just the the high five emoji. But it goes along with what it is. So they're going to put that on your page and they're going to say, oh man, you know, sleep in peace, king, you know, sleep in peace, queen, you know, oh man, you know, and they're going to give you that, but then that's it. Cause you ain't have no health insurance. No, you didn't have no life insurance. So look at the burden that's going to be left on your people. And look, I'm not saying that because I don't know. Look, my uncle, I'm going to share this with y'all. My uncle didn't have life insurance. He died a week ago. Guess when the funeral is? February 16th. February 6th. I told my mom, what is it going to be, a closed casket? Because you ain't going to look like the same uncle that I know at, being, that long to get to the funeral. Why? Because we didn't have no insurance. We got to prioritize, things. We got insurance on our phones, right? Don't think because you're 20 or you're 28, you strapping and, I'm good, right? Don't be like that, right? This is part of leadership, right? Right? We should be, because with the way we dying out here, life insurance could be a way that we could do something financially that could, last for some generations. You put a brother, put your family on for $300,000, $400,000. Might be able to, when you come back, maybe, you might be able to reap the benefits of that, those good investments that was made, right? But, what's the reality? Because of poor leadership, because of poor mental health, what's the result of, your father dying or somebody in your family dying? You get mail. You get his mail. You get all his junk mail that he didn't open, right? It's like it, y'all. But y'all get my point. All right. Could you finish out the scripture, please? Salak, yeah, Jeremiah 2 and 33. Yeah, you can if you could. Baba Kishore.
This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter.
Hold on. Go ahead. Go ahead. You got it, boy. You got it.
Start over.
That was my bad. I didn't have you unmuted.
Oh, okay, This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 23, verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith Yahweh. Verse 2. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastors.
The Lord God of who?
Of Israel.
The Lord God of the Romans.
Of Israel.
The Lord God of America.
Of Israel.
Donald Trump.
Of Israel. Against the pastors that feed my people.
Right. And who's feeding the people now? TD Jakes. Yeah. Oh man, we said that in unison, huh? TD Jakes. We know because we in agreement that is a leader of black people. TD Jakes is a leader. Rappers are leaders of black people. A rapper. They asking Cardi. They could have had anybody talk to Joe Biden, but they had Cardi B. And she was like, cause I think that, black people, we should have voting rights. Like, that's literally how she was sounding talking to Joe Biden. Right? And that's how less they think of our people. They like, okay, what do niggas like? They like Kanye West. Bring Kanye up here. What else do they like? Oh, niggas like football. You know what? Bring Ray Lewis up here. They like football. It don't even matter who the football player is. Just bring any football player that, that actually did a little something in their career. Bring them up here and we'll talk to them about the conditions of black people. But they're not going to go and get the people that are actually got boots on the ground that's in the neighborhoods, in the communities, right? Not communities. We don't have communities. Salaki, y'all. We don't have communities in the black neighborhood. In the hood. I guess I don't know how you can't say that. But yeah, we don't have communities. We have
hoods.
Neighborhoods, right? Communities are a group of families. I'll say it again. Communities are a group of families who control the environment, right? I think Dusty Yum lives in a community. Right, that's a community. Because if the cop keeps arresting people at that goddamn stoplight, they're going to go to the township, right? They're going to go to the township and be like, wait a minute. We ain't going for that. this cop is pulling me over every time I come in this stinking neighborhood.
Right.
Hey, what's gonna happen? He's gonna get moved. Yep. That's the community. The people that the families, the group of families that control the environment. What do we control in our environment?
I was about to say that.
The distribution of drugs? Right, because that's our portion.
The guns.
That's our portion. Right. That's our portion. In life, that's our portion. You know, everybody got something on this earth. You know, every nation got something on this earth. The Koreans got hair and nails. They got hair and nails, right? They import billions of dollars worth of hair to our sisters, right? Right, and so that's what they got on this earth. The Africans, they got diamonds and all that good stuff that go into a cell phone, right? But that's what they got. What do we got? We got crack. And guess what? It's designed to keep low. $10. By now, crack should be a little bit more money, right? Shouldn't it be a little bit more, you know? Dollar Tree went up to $1.25. Right. Dollar Tree ain't $1 no more. Inflation has hit everybody, even the dollar store. I didn't think the dollar store would go more than $1. But here we are, $1.25. They had to make that extra bread, right? So how is crack still $10 from when I was a kid? Still $10. Why? Because they make sure that the market ensures that it'll stay $10. So that poor people can get it and get high, smoke their face off, right? And be stupid, dumb, and out of the way, right? Of having anything that has anything to do with power, right? That's really what it's about. Because, like, we have to be kids in this place. The children. That's what we have to be in this place. We have to be children, not concerned with power, not concerned with the things that are really important about the world, right? Think about it. What are we concerned with?
Clothes, shoes.
Yeah, clothes, shoes, music,
cars.
Likes on social media.
Likes on social media.
Jewelry.
What you say? Jewelry. Are those things? Do they have any effect on our status on a global scale in NATO? You know what I'm talking about? Like NATO, like you sitting there with world leaders around the whole world, the earth, and you're talking about, and every single leader that's around the earth is talking about interests of their people. What's best for them as a collective? What are we talking about? Nothing. We on there. What you say? Yeah, the four. I got the fours. Oh, I just got the ones. I got the ones with the skinny jeans. I just got the ones. That's not what. That's not serious. What does that got to do with like the way we move as a unit? Like, what is that going to do to ensure the future of our children? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So what are we doing? We fighting for what? Equality. We fighting for equality. So what? So what we fight for is really not anything. We're just fighting to just basically say, okay, well, we understand that the oppressor is just dominant. He's the dominant, force in the earth. So we'll just, stay under him and he'll take care of us forever until the end of time. That's our fight. And hopefully they don't, turn to savage like we know they have done in the past. And that's what we really fight for. Not having any real plan or anything that's really going to protect us and, from, once he really starts being, a savage again, and this is why our leadership is no good for Black people. And right now, outside of the ISUPK, there is no leadership in the world. Right. There's no leadership nowhere. There's none at all. There's none. I know you might have thought so. Oh, this thing on? There's none, nowhere. Because everybody is just getting down with the get down. Right? And whatever it takes to just not antagonize the oppressor, So why do we seek our ways? Why do we change? Why do we, what's it say? Why do we trim our ways, right? To seek love, right? Finish that out real quick, because this is another point on the end of that scripture that I wanted wanted to hear. Go ahead.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 2, verse 33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways.
Right. We teach them our ways every time. Black Lives Matter, with you rallying with the same people that is the reason why you're here. Right? Because they sit in those talks about what's going to be our next move. They sit in there and they listen to us, and we teach them our ways every single time. Why? And guess what? Because we teach them our ways every single time, they know how to cut you off. Every move you make, they know how to cut you off. Right? Because we've done the same thing so much throughout history, we're predictive. They know what we're capable of and what we're not capable of. They know what you're going to do. When a cop kills a brother or a sister or whatever, they know exactly what you're going to do. You're going to rally, you're going to pray, and you're going to march. That's it. You might tear up something, but it ain't going to be, their neighborhoods. It's going to be yours. And the people that you think are your allies that come out there, Black Lives Matter. You know what they're doing? They just coming down there to get wrecked. And wait for them to, be able to rebel against the system and spray paint some stuff and set some stuff on fire and, turn a car over, But at the end of the day, they know that it's not going to affect their livelihood because they're going to go back to the suburbs after it's over with. And you're going to be stuck with all the destruction, right? Now you're going to have to get stuck with going to another county because all the stores are on fire. Everybody set them on fire. So now you're going to have to go to another county to go get medicine for your grandmom or your mom. And now if you don't have a car, you're going to have to take 3 buses now to get where you got to get. They're going to go home and, and don't lose no sleep about it, right? Because they're there to just get a little bit of wrecking, entertainment and fun. That's all this is. And that's why I was talking to this dude from Black Lives Matter, and he was talking about, because, we got white allies, white allies. He asked me, he said, well, I'm interested in doing some work, with y'all, but, would y'all accept the LGBT? No. No, y'all know where that relationship went down the toilet. There's nothing we could do. Well, we could, the LGBT, they can provide food and all this. No, nothing we could do. You know what I mean? Like we haven't really seen the value in ourselves without anybody else involved with it. So, and that's like that's a, what's that word I'm looking for? That's a byproduct of, self-hatred, where we don't see the value in each other and all the wonderful things we can do collectively as a group. We just only see our value long as somebody else is helping us, and this is definitely what we have to change. And because we always want to be involved and we want to keep everybody involved with everything, then this is why we trim our ways to seek love, and we teach the wicked one our ways every time. And because we do that, we're able to get stopped at every corner we try to turn to get free. This whole place works off of us being stupid. Salaki, y'all. We got to be out of our mind for this system to work. That's how it works. I've been studying it. Cause I can offer tell you, the books is this high, right? I got a stack of books this high. I haven't brought them down to the school. Where would they fit? I got a stack of books this high. I've been studying white supremacy for this lecture. This high. And all of them say the same thing. This system works from us being out of our mind. We have to see things lopsided. It's the only way. So the psychology has to be played on us to just be out of our mind completely. That's how this whole system works. We have to be stupid. We have to be dumb. We have to be, you know, stupid and dumb the same thing? Maybe it might be a little bit different, right? Is stupid and dumb the same thing? Stupid and dumb. They both, right? Mm-hmm. We have to be both for this whole system to work. We can't be, you know, we can't look at things, you know, from reality. We got to look at things from a perspective of fantasy. You know, it sounds good that we'll all come together and, you know, have we sung Old Nigga with Spirituals yet? No. And it'll never happen because it's not practical. And this is why the ISUPK is necessary, because it's the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Something that's practical, that you can wrap your mind around, right? And it makes sense, right? Because all of us are here. Why are we all here? We're all here because something that we heard made sense. Because we're not stupid people in here. We ain't stupid. I know I'm not. I know y'all not, because y'all been rocking out for this, you know what I mean? So everybody that's in this class right now is not stupid. We are very, very practical people. And we can listen to something and we can say, you know what, that don't make sense. You know what I mean? I know when I came to the class, my first night in class, General Mayak was in class. And I was in there and I was like, I seen the incense burn. I was like, where the hell am I at? Right? And then Command General Yohana walked in and they stood up and was like, Yahweh, I'm like, you know, I don't know what the hell was going on. But one thing that I do remember is that when he was talking, it made sense. You know what I mean? I'm like, damn, that makes sense. And I was still smoking weed. You know what I mean? I was there because, you know, I had a moment of clarity from the weed that I was smoking. But I had a moment of clarity, and I was like, well, I'm gonna go to class tonight. You know, I was waiting. As soon as class was over, I went and smoked. But the point I'm trying to make to y'all is that in that moment of clarity that I had when I wasn't high, it made perfect sense what he was saying. And then I went back the next night, and the next night, and the next night, and the next night, and I just kept going and going and going. And I lost my job, which was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I had 6 months off. They was like, well, you got to find a job. And so I was filling out applications to be engineer of I was filling out for jobs that I knew I couldn't get. The supervising engineer of blah blah blah. You know, where you need definite college degrees. And I was filling out for jobs. They like, you filling out job applications? I'm like, yeah, I just filled out to be a superintendent of a school. And right, and I had 6 months. Where I was getting paid, and I was able to go, to this class every night. And I would listen to General Mayak, and I would listen to Captain Tawar, and I would listen to, Command General Yohana and Captain Sakawar. I would listen to them, and I was like, this makes perfect sense. It was something that I couldn't deny. And that's the practical part of it, because it's like, you can't deny it. And so when you put your, you focus your mind in, and then you start to say, you know what, I'm better than weed. You know what I mean? I'm better than all the things that I think I could do outside of this place. And this is where I need to be, because this is something that I have to choose now. This is why I say, if you young, don't look at it like, okay, I get it. You might be young, you know what I mean? You might be in your 20s and you feel like, well, I got my whole life ahead of me, and, I still got time. Don't look at it like that, because so many people are dying now. They don't have that second chance. You know what I'm saying? So many people are in prison right now. That's, 25, 22, that's doing 30 years in prison. Double life, all those different things, those different variables that come into play where those people can't get that second chance. You know what I'm saying? They never going to see the outside again. Or you a brother that's young and you out in the streets or whatever, and you feel like, well, I got time. I hear the niggas on the corner. They saying nice stuff. You know what I mean? They saying cool stuff, but I got time because I'm young. You don't want to, have that mindset. You want to get in here and say, you know what? I'm going to come in and I'm going to do it. You don't want to be like the cats who came in 1999. You know what I mean? Because they thought Christ was going to come back in 2000, right? And which was a good thing that, you know, Christ didn't return in 2000, because all the wrong niggas would have been in the kingdom and we wouldn't have had a chance. Right. You know, all the wrong niggas would have been in the kingdom of heaven right now, and we wouldn't have had a chance to be there, right? And so the Lord gave us mercy. So now we have that ability to be here. So if you are young, then, you know, get in here and make that decision now. You know, don't wait, you know, because we know what's waiting for us on the other side. It's death. That's what's waiting on you, is death. You know, my uncle passed away at 62. 62, dog. 62, Thashiyam. He just went out on retirement. Just went out. You know, you can go out at 62, but with a penalty. He went out with the penalty. Just went out with the penalty. Still died. Heart attack. Boom. Done. See what I'm saying? So life ain't long as we think it is. It's quick. It's very quick. So you want to make the choice that you're going to make forever. You know what I mean? And that's like the kind of decision that we make here with the truth. You're a man that's willing to stand up and die for the law. You a sister that's willing to die for the law, right? And this is the choice that we've all made. So we want to stick to the choice that we made and not look back on it like it's a mistake that we've made, or, you know, it's a regret that you made in life. You know, I don't have any regrets in life because all of them brought me here. And I look at it like this, you know, and I know this might sound crazy to y'all, but, you know, the Lord gave me a lot of time to do what I wanted to do. You know, I had a good time being wicked as hell. You know what I mean? I had a good time out there. You know what I mean? I was out there in the streets. Even when ISUPK was here in 2007, you know, General Mayak and them was down in downtown. I was so high, I probably would have never seen him if I did see him. Right? But I had my time, you know what I mean, to do what the hell I wanted to do. But now I got to make this. I made this decision to get myself together, stand on it, and be that and build that house up. You know, like I told the brothers in here, you know what I mean? I ain't gonna, let me see. All right. Like I told the brothers in here, you know what I mean? We're that foundation. You know, Thashiyam, you're that foundation. Mataziala, you're that foundation. Sarai Bakar, you're that foundation. You know what I mean? Kazakawaf, you're that foundation. You know what I mean? Ratazabov, you're that foundation. The foundation of this place has to be solid. Right. You know what I mean? Because if we're not solid, the people that's been here, if it's not solid, then how the hell is we're going to add all this weight onto the foundation if we're not solid? We're going to be just like the goddamn saying Christ was talking about. And as soon as the water come up, it's going to crumble. That's why brotherhood and sisterhood is so important, because we're the foundation for all the people that's going to come. The Lord is creating a way for people to come in here right now. People dying so much, we getting like that callous on your heart, you know? You know how so many people dying, you be like, damn, you know, what's the name died? You like, oh yeah? Damn. Okay. You know what I mean? This is over. You know what I mean? You don't really think about it too much now. Because of how, you know, we're hearing about death so much. We're seeing death so much. You know what I mean? And we're seeing it. The COVID is putting that callous on your heart, man. The Lord is hardening your heart right now. It's hardening all of our hearts right now for death. You be like, oh, damn, they died? Damn. Man, that's messed up. Damn. You know what I mean? I know every day I see a brother, like, they be like, damn, this person died. I be like, damn. I just keep scrolling. Because there's nothing I can do. I just keep scrolling. Am I the only one that go through this? You see me like, damn, this person died. You know, you see your friends on your list, you're like, damn, this person died. See, rest in peace, Granny. I be like, keep scrolling. So I can't do nothing about it. Right? And this is why, man, if we want to strive for mastery, Thashiyam, we got to strive for it, man, with everything that you got. Don't be, you know, a pea foot. You know, it's like I don't want to be, you know, but you don't be a pea foot. You know what I mean? Don't do that. Stand on what you was taught by the men that came before you, right? And lay it down. You know what I'm saying? Especially like, you know, if you're a sister that's been in here for a while, give the game to the young sisters, man. Don't give them the game like, you know, don't mess with this sister, don't mess with that. Nah, don't give them that kind of game. Right. You know what I mean? Give them the game like, look, sis, you know what I mean? You got to be a sister when you come in here. You know what I mean? Sisterhood is a weapon too. You know, brotherhood ain't just a weapon. It encompasses all of that. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we got to do if we want to make the whole thing work. You know, the generals are in their position because of pain, because they went through pain the same way we go through pain. You know, they just endured pain a lot longer than we did. So long as you endure, right, as long as you staying, you know, firm on what you believe, you'll be able to obtain that mastery, right? We'll be the brothers, you know what I'm saying, the sisters that everybody look up to later on when they run in here, right? Because the Lord is setting it up there where everybody going to run in here. It's going to be, you know, what we talking about, Thussie? You're already getting a bigger spot, right? And, you know, it just, you know, it takes a little bit longer for some people to come through than others. You know, we didn't, some of us, we heard the word and we ran right to it. But some of our brothers and sisters, they hear the word and they might not run right necessarily to it. But, you know, they'll get there in due time. When the generals came to Delaware in 2007, I didn't hear the truth. And if they stopped, then I wouldn't have heard it. But I've heard it. And guess when I heard it? 8 years later. You know what I mean? So, you know, I'm gonna leave y'all with one more point. Give y'all a whole lot. Let me get Romans 13 and 11, please, if you could, Warrior. All right, big man. Greg Mills. That's right. Yeah, you're right, Greg Neal. Stacey Dash, she's a conservative. Stupid as hell. Go ahead.
Oh, God. This is the book of Romans, chapter 13,
Verse 11.
Read it one more time so like I had you on mute.
This is the book of Romans, chapter 13, verse 11.
Mm-hmm.
And that, knowing the time, that now it is high time to awake out of sleep.
Right. Like now is the time for you to get right. You know, I know we in here, we've heard this scripture a million times, right? But it's always good to get, you know, refreshed on what we go through in these classes. I know a lot because like, well, how long you been in school, in class? 8 years? 7.5, 8 years. If you was in the world 7.5, 8 years in school, you would be on your way to a doctorate, a PhD. You know, I know Bob been down for a minute, right? We all been down for a minute. So, you know, we want to, you know, get it in your mind, you know, because a lot of times, a lot of people don't think that, you know, yeah, maybe you might be going to school for 30 years. Christ might not come back in 2024. Right? You might very well go to your death without Christ coming back. But can you stay down? Can you stay down or are you going to roll out? You know, like a lot of people, they just be like, what? Christ ain't coming back in 2024, nigga, you tripping. Out. Right? And that's what we very well have to have in our mind. Or can you go to class? Can you go to class for 30 more years? Right? hey, Bataliala. Survive a car life. I don't know what the hell I got into. Can you come to class for 30 years?
God.
Yeah?
God.
30 years.
30 years.
Christ don't come back in 30 years, you down?
God.
Yeah, you're going to be old. You're going to be old with a cane. I probably won't be here. But you're going to be old going to camp with the young niggas.
God.
That's what I'm talking about. You see what I'm saying? That's what you got to have in your mind. Like, I'm going to endure all the way to the end. Remember, that's what Christ said. Mm-hmm. He that endures to the end shall be saved. Not the niggas that endure for a time. Not the sisters that endure for a time. The greatest example of that is Makatazar, Officer Makatazar. He endured to the end. He was on his way to camp and dropped dead. On his way to camp. He dropped dead on his way to camp. That's enduring to the end. Till you drop dead. And guess what? Makata's always going to be in a great, he got the glory that, you know, people in the Bible got. They follow Christ all the way to the end. They follow the Most High all the way to the end. He was on his way to work. He was on his way to go teach. He probably had his teaching in his pocket. You know what I mean? You know how I go. When we get ready for camp, he probably had his, you know, all the scriptures that he was going to bring out. He dropped dead on the way. The Lord took him before he hit the ground. Right? You know, from the brothers I talked to. You know, when he hit the ground, it was the Lord took him before he even hit the ground. But the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, you want to endure all the way to the end. Bring that scripture. You got to bring it, Taziala. He that endured to the end. I'll give you some time, all right? I'll give you some time. So like I called it out. But y'all get what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like, make that decision now and don't waver on that decision. Well, I'll find it for you. Salaki. You got it? Make that decision now, you know what I mean? Like, don't look at it as like, you know what I'm saying, I'm going to do it once I finally get off of drugs. You know, a brother that I used to, like, I'm going to share something with y'all real quick. You know, it was a brother that I used to watch Captain Kapash's class with. We was both in the world. You know, we used to smoke weed and watch class. You know what I'm saying? And we would watch Captain Kapash. Y'all remember Captain Kapash back in the day? He used to have a knife this big. He used to have a knife this big. And he used to do class like this, right? He used to be like, yeah, you know, yeah, he used to be like this. Yeah, you know, the Most High, you know. And then I used to be like, damn, he got a big knife. You know what I'm saying? But we used to watch the class, and I used to be in there, you know, we used to be in there like coming up with points, you know, smoking weed, you know, all that, you know, goofy stuff. And we used to make points about it and stuff like that. And I used to be like, damn, that's dope. What he's saying, yeah, he talking about the black man, this blah, blah, blah. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to go to class. I'm going to go check it out. And you know, the brother that I used to watch the videos with, he was like, nah, you go ahead, man. I was like, man, come with me, man. I don't know these niggas from Philly. I don't know these niggas like that. Come with me, man. He was like, nah, you go ahead, man. You go ahead, man. You go ahead, let me know how it was, right? I went by myself. Nigga from Delaware, by myself, went up in there. You know what I mean? Like I said, I saw General Mayak the first night. And I kept going after that. As time went on, I kept on coming and I got serious about it, right? And you could tell when a brother gets serious because his beard go crazy. His beard grows crazy. Thus the young beard was crazy. But Taziala beard was crazy, right? His hair goes crazy, right? Survival car hair was crazy. And out of that, and then I would see the brother that I used to watch the videos that turned me on to it. And guess what? Now I'm up there speaking, and he's off in the background at the camp watching with all the other spectators. He's watching now. You know how crazy that feels? To be like, now he's watching me now. When now I'm not the brother that was on watching the video. Now I'm in the video. You know what I mean? The brother that's on the, you know, the brother that's on the picture on the wall. Now you're in the picture on the wall. You know, we got sisters out there on the wall. You know what I'm saying? When you come in, there's sisters out there that wasn't in the picture before. But now no sisters is in the picture on the wall. And once I saw my picture on the wall in Philly, I was like, why would I leave if my picture is on the wall? You feel me? Because now I'm in the picture. You understand? I'm just trying to get y'all to, you know, help y'all to get inside my brain. Right? Let me get that last scripture, if you could, please.
Book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 22.
Mm-hmm.
And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
Uh-huh.
But he that endureth.
Hold on, Salaki. Read it one more time from the top.
I
had you muted.
Book of Matthew, chapter 10, verse 22. And ye shall be hated of all men for my name's sake.
We all know that, right? The sisters is hated. The sisters is hated, right? They tell you the sisters, what? You what? Your man told you what? You wear a dress? You better take that dress off and shake what your mama gave you, right? You know, we all go through persecution. The sisters go through prosecution too.
Right.
Right? They go through it for this truth. Right? The brothers go through it for this truth. Right? Go ahead.
But he that endureth.
He that what?
But he that endureth.
What's that word again?
Endureth.
Say it one more time for say it for y'all recall.
Endureth.
I'm gonna drop a bomb.
But he that endureth to the end shall be saved.
That's right. You endure to the end, Thosh. You endure to the end. You hold it down. Hold the truth and don't let it go. Right? You know what I mean? Zerah Bakar? You don't let it go. You don't have the luxury of falling out of here.
Right.
Other niggas do, but you don't. You thought you had the luxury of chilling until you get yourself right? Nah, you don't got that luxury. You made it evident to me and all the brothers around you that you didn't want to, be that brother. You didn't want to have the luxury of falling off, right? You made that oath, right? Since the beginning. And that's the oath you got to keep until the end. If you gotta die, then you keep that oath. Other than that, just don't waste our time and just go ahead and just save us the theatrics with it, and just do what you got to do. That's cool. We're gonna be here, right? But the point I'm trying to make is that we all got to stay down. We got to be the foundation, because how the foundation going to hold when all the weight comes on top of it? That's construction, basic construction, right? And so if we want to strive for mastery, we got to be temperate in all things, right? Yeah, we got to be able to obtain the mastery through the work that we put in. You ain't going to obtain mastery unless you put in work, because if we ain't willing to put in the work, the oppressor is going to be able to put in the work, and you just not going to be a master. You're going to be a servant. And all right, I'll turn the class over to President Officer Dushy Young.
All right, this is ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and new sisters. When a new brother or new sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn.
There you go. You back. Hold on. There you go. Now you good.
Salakia. This is the ISUPK security announcements. Rules for new brothers and new sisters. When a new brother and new sister come into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to learn and to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister have an interest in a particular person, they are to seek counsel from the head. Tithing, which is a commandment. Ma'asharah, which means 10th in Hebrew. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 through 10. That's 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord give to you. Priest fund is a free will offering. It's not mandatory. Whatever amount you would like, you may give. Up and coming holy convocations. We got the Feast of Purim coming up. It'll be actually on Monday, February the 14th and the 15th of February of next month. All right. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirts, pants, headband, and scarf, and saying that, Amijam, we're going to give the brothers a courtesy salute. Amijam Shabbat, Amijam, Barak, Yahweh, Shem Yahweh, Shabbat, Thumb, Yahweh Matah, Sar, he's the turn. We're going to face the sisters. We're going to give the sisters a courtesy salute, sisters. Amijam, Shabbat, Amijam, Barak, Yahweh, Shema, Thumb, Shem Yahweh, Shabbat. Yahweh Matah, class dismissed.
That's right.
College.